Good afternoon and good morning for most of you, maybe West Coast, Central. Today we'll be kicking off our Aeroseal FAQ series. So trying to break down our process into more bite-sized material, create a more convenient environment for everybody that's busy and trying to keep up with the day-to-day grind. And today we're joined with two of our very own, April Frakes and Travis Boylan. We'll give it a couple minutes here just to let everybody sign in as we're right at the noon, and then we'll get cranking away. Thank you. All right, I think our numbers kind of slowly peaked out here, so don't hold you guys up. So today we're here to discuss some of the most frequently asked questions around how we're going to get our project started, specifically with Aeroseal, understanding the process and what is involved, information that's required, you name it, the things that we're hearing out in the field. So today we'll be going over some introductions for Travis and April, along with a quick background of who we are for anybody out there on the line that is a little unfamiliar with the technology, what we've done. Very short and sweet, but something that's pretty valuable for those that are unaware. And then we'll jump right into the FAQs and follow up with some Q&A. Some housekeeping items. The presentation is being recorded, so there will be a recording that'll come out to all the live attendees here within a couple hours, and then the recording will go to the absentees or those who aren't about a day afterwards. So if you don't receive that, feel free to reach out. We'd love to get that to you and let you spread the gospel and the good word of Aeroseal. There's also a question box. Feel free to provide any questions you have as we're going through these frequently asked questions, and if we don't get it to one, feel free to add that in there as well, and we'll have a short survey at the end just to collect feedback, understand how we're doing, and what future content you'd like to see out of us. So without further ado, I will pass this over to April, and I'm going to launch a small little poll just to see who's on the call.
Thank you so much, Billy. So I am April Frakes, Director of Commercial Sales here at Aeroseal. Along with me today, we have Travis Boylan, who's our Business Development Manager. Travis's job is basically to help ESCOs develop all of their projects. So we are here to support you throughout the process. Today's FAQ series deals with how to get a project started. So you are starting the project and you just want to know how to engage Aeroseal, how we work with you. So as this poll closes out, we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So Aeroseal, we were developed 25 years ago at the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab with funding from the DOE. Aeroseal is all made in America. Our machines are made in Dayton, Ohio, and our sealant is made in Colorado. We are a minority-owned business as well. So any kind of classifications that you're looking for your projects, we apply to a lot of them. Aeroseal is a solution that takes on duct repair. And beyond that, we want to become the airflow specialist for you and your project. So we created a 4-phase approach to ensure that we make all of the issues that are in the ductwork in your project more energy efficient and take on all the challenges that you have with that. Our mission statement is to drastically reduce carbon emissions by tackling the greatest building fault while providing increased comfort and IAQ to building occupants around the world. So we'll get into that a little bit more and how we do that and how you get your project started. So why do you care about Aeroseal? Why do you care about duct work, right? A lot of times it's something that you don't think about in your projects. You know, there's LED lighting and water projects and things like that. But actually, the top building fault in the country, out of all of those things that you work on, is actually duct leakage, with $2.9 billion being lost every year just due to duct leakage. As a matter of fact, ASHRAE tells us that 75% of buildings have duct work that leaks at least 10 to 35%. So you think about that in dollar volume and how we can help on these ESCO projects. It really is widespread and something that we're a candidate for most buildings. So what is the payback or the ROI for Aeroseal? Depending on where you are in the country and what your energy costs are and what kind of projects we work on, it's usually around 2 to 7 years. We require no ongoing maintenance. So after you do it once, it lasts the life of the project and you don't have to have ongoing maintenance fees for that. One of the other benefits we have is that in a lot of projects, if ductwork is damaged or needs repaired, you think about replacing it and how costly that is. But Aeroseal can help with that, with not replacing ductwork by doing the Aeroseal system, doing minor repairs and patches, even duct cleaning or encapsulation. There's also indirect costs. So as you think about it, if you're going to have to replace the ductwork, people need to move to other spaces. You rip out drywall. There's actual, issues with that. And then also you get into things that you don't want to, right? Hazardous materials, asbestos, lead, those sorts of things. So Aeroseal has a 3-year warranty for our commercial products. However, we have approval to extend that warranty in all ESCO projects for the life of the contract with your customer. That means that there's not just no maintenance involved, but if there's any issues that come up for the life of your contract, we're there to support you in that. So we get this question all the time on whether we only seal the ductwork. And really what we want to do is be a comprehensive solution for all of your projects. So if ductwork needs cleaned, if there's repairs that need to be made, we can do that as well. A lot of things that we do on top of that are replacing canvas connectors, even encapsulation. So if your internal lining is degrading, we can help with that. And on top of all those things, we do the Aeroseal process, which seals up all the holes and gaps in your system. A lot of people ask if Aeroseal is safe for the occupants. So if you're working on a school project or a hospital or even a federal base, right, is Aeroseal safe? And the answer is it absolutely is. There's no VOC off-gassing after the Aeroseal cures, which takes about 2 hours after our installation. But even when we are installing the product, the VOC content is very similar to, it's in the exact same range as when you install new carpet, right? So it's nothing that's hazardous, going to hurt people or anything like that. We do this all the time in pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities that are clean room environments, hospitals, senior living facilities. It is all completely safe. So now I'm going to turn it over to Travis Boylan, and Travis is going to talk a little bit about what do you do to start a new project.
Great, thanks, April. So what do we need to start a project? Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or fill out the form online with this graphic down here you'll see at the top right of our website. If time is of the essence, just please give us a call and we'll be able to help out. If we personally don't have the answer, we know somebody that does. What is Aeroseal staff comprised of? Inventor Mark Madera is part of our executive team, and we're growing. In November, when I started, there were 60 AeroMates. Now we're over 100, and it's probably going to be close to 200 soon after our recent investment news. We've got mechanical, energy engineers, electrical engineers, computers, software engineers, chemical engineers, certified energy managers, a massive R&D department, technical support, estimators, building auditors, project developers, who design over $1 million projects that pay for themselves in sometimes less than 3 years. And then we've got all of our trained Aeroseal technicians and commercial partners. So if you have a question, an issue, we should be able to find you an answer and solution with this team. What information do I have to have? First off, for both renovation and new construction projects, Aeroseal is the solution. There's a specification on our site, so feel free to take a look at that, or we can send it over if you want to reach out. The more information, the better. Any background information about the project, building and HVAC details, goals of the project, timeline, location, any extenuating circumstances that would be helpful to better understand what's going on in the building and with the design team always helps. How long does the process take? It depends, honestly. The size of the project, the complexity. Sometimes we can turn estimates around in a few hours, few days. It all kind of depends on the characteristics and what we're working with. And then how urgent is it? We quoted a project a couple weeks ago, 500 miles away from our corporate headquarters in Dayton, and our team is headed back today with a completed scope. So we definitely have the resources to move fast if need be. And then we've got over 600 residential, commercial, and international dealers. So we've got the network in place to assist at any issue that you're going to have with the ductwork. So give us a call. Our goal is to make projects move as fast and easy as possible. When should I get Aeroseal involved? The sooner the better. For our ESCO partners, all of our upfront development, design, and engineering is done at risk. We're trying to mirror your development process. So at the RFP stage, you can include our ECM description in your RFP or RFQ submission, and we can send that over too. Please feel free to reach out. At this point, we can provide preliminary budget costs and payback numbers based on as little as square footage of the building, or if you have all of the mechanical information, we'll use that. And then from the information that we get, we'll provide initial energy models completely unlocked for your review. And then we'll move on to the IGA stage. We'll conduct an audit on site to confirm our initial findings from the qualification stage. Here we'll conduct a visual assessment of the systems. Pressure testing can be done here as well if we're able to get access to the space. And then after completing the on-site audit, a full report with field conditions will be submitted to you, as well as our updated energy models and cost. And if you're replacing any HVAC equipment to increase efficiency, you might as well upgrade the efficiency of the ductwork as well with Aeroseal. Oh, went one too far. Where does Aeroseal perform projects? We're all over the world with a presence in 27 countries. For EPC contracts, our corporate performance contracting division performs projects nationwide and abroad if part of a federal contract. And then for standard plan and spec projects or non-EPC contracts, we have our dealer network both here in the States as well as internationally. So regardless of project size or location, just feel free to reach out and we'll make sure to take care of any issue or project that you've got for us. And that's short and sweet.
Oh, nice.
Sounds like we covered everything.
Yeah, thank you guys. There are a couple questions in here, so just as a reminder, feel free to place them in. There's a couple questions that have come through just in regards to the ones we went over, and then a couple additional. So we'll get started. So are there any special circumstances or limitations that apply to the warranty?
No, we look at it as a case-by-case basis. If there's usually nothing that would interrupt the warranty unless there was a demolition of the ductwork or something like that would cause, it to not be in the same, place that we put everything in and installed the Aeroseal equipment. We haven't had maybe one warranty issue in the past 5 years I've been here, and we took care of that. So we don't get a lot of warranty claims, but it's there if we need it. And I don't see any real issues other than, if ductwork was demolished or moved or something like that.
Okay. Any case study this one just came through, any case study in a healthcare facility or hospital?
Yes. So if you go to our website, aeroseal.com, and click on the commercial page, there are numerous case studies on there. We have a whole healthcare section that you can find. If you're not seeing what you're looking for exactly, though, reach out to Travis or myself, and we'll be able to help you with any kind of referrals or references for those projects.
Okay. Are there any systems that are too complex for Aeroseal?
We haven't ran into any like that. Aeroseal, with our team of energy managers, with our engineering staff, our estimators, and what we find during the audit process, we really haven't found any cases where we would, back away from a project. We have to get creative sometimes. As Travis said, Dr. Mark Madera, who invented our technology, is an active part of our company. And actually, I was just in a meeting with him for an hour and a half yesterday talking about improving our audit process. So anything that gets really complex, we have Mark on standby to help us. And so a lot of these ASHRAE standards and codes, he helped write. So it makes having his expertise and the expertise of everyone on our team especially helpful when we run into more complex cases. But we've done this in active hospitals, operating rooms. We do this in clean room pharmaceutical facilities. So, in all of these cases, we figured out ways to go around the challenges and help ensure that our customers and their customers get the best experience.
Who does Aeroseal primarily communicate with or prefer to communicate with when it comes to projects?
Yeah, so a lot of times we're working with the ESCOs directly. So if the engineering team from the ESCOs are usually who reach out to us, a lot of times the business development managers may reach out to us if there's a new project and think we should get involved. It depends on the company. But we do not usually deal with the end users directly or with the mechanicals or anything like that on site. We are dealing mostly with the ESCOs, and then as we move to construction, that changes a little bit, with the general contractor and that sort of thing. But during development, at this stage that we're talking about today, we deal mostly with the ESCOs.
Okay. What all information is required to get a preliminary assessment completed?
Yeah, so just like Travis said, we have a list of things that we need from you. And if you have a specific project, email us and we'll send it back to you. Specifically, we're looking for the mechanical plans. We're also looking for all of the energy rates so we can ensure that everything is, modeled properly. So from the drawings and mechanical schedules, we pull things like fan design flow, static pressure, the heating and cooling efficiency, and the outside air percentages. We also prefer to have the AHU run schedule, like startup and shutdown times, anything we can get from the building automation system for that, or if you don't have that available, occupancy hours. And like I said, we like to understand the energy costs, including demand charge. That's important to us because our bin spreadsheet that we use to model savings includes demand. So it's easier for us, and we can show the more accurate savings if we have a demand, not a blended rate. Summer and winter design conditions, the location of the project is important for us in our model because we measure the enthalpy during that modeling process. And so we need to know where you are to pull that information. And then, like I said, building automation system trend data, if that's available. So we like to hear, or like to see the VFD speeds every 15 minutes, the VFD kilowatts every 15 minutes, and the outside air temperature and humidity every hour, if that's available. As we understand with a lot of these projects, we have some of this information and not all of it. And so we do what we can to ensure that we model just like buildings that we've done in similar areas if information is missing. So we work with the ESCO to get the best best case so we can understand, fill in the gaps for the information we don't have.
Perfect. On large ESCO projects, do you have a corporate installation team or do you find a current commercial Aeroseal installer?
Yeah, so we do have a commercial team that works directly out of our office in Dayton, Ohio, and travels around to do all ESCO projects. We started that team about 4.5 years ago, just understanding that the development and what's needed in each area and what our dealers can provide varies. So there may be cases where we may pull in a dealer to use their labor on a project or something like that, but we always have an Aeroseal project manager and at least 1 or 2 crew members that are Aeroseal. All of our crew has been background checked and vetted. Our office is really close to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So a lot of people on our crew are reservists and they're familiar with working on federal projects and bases because they do that as part of their other jobs. But everyone has been trained and is led by an Aeroseal project manager on all of our projects.
Perfect. I think our questions have slowed down here, so we can give it a minute. Yeah, hopefully this all clears up some pieces. And as a reminder, this is a 1 of 6 FAQ series. So the intent is to break these up into more manageable sizes and times to fit your calendar and your busy schedules. So the next presentation will be on what makes a good candidate for Aeroseal, how we go about determining a lot of those factors with a lot of case studies and pieces, as one was mentioned earlier around the medical, maybe pharmaceutical, federal case studies, things like that, that we can pull in to better understand how we are going through. And here's some contact information as we come to a close here. Travis, April, do you want to add any final touches or information? And
yeah, I would just say that our contact information is here. If you have any questions, give us a call or shoot us an email, text, whatever method you prefer. We are open to answer any questions and look at any projects, right? A lot of times we get asked, well, would this be a good candidate or whatever, which we'll talk about in the next webinar. But I would say if you have any projects that you're wanting to know in the meantime or have an idea of, just send it over to us. And we do all of our preliminary assessments at no cost. We do all of our auditing at risk. So there's really no downfall for you to go ahead and get it evaluated for Aeroseal. We appreciate everyone's time today. I know it's at a premium, and look forward to working with you in the future.
We have one more. I'll let this be the last one with time, April. So can you speak more to the fact the warranty is now extended to the length of the ESPC? I think it's a valuable one, and we can close out.
Of course. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so for example, if your project is 20 years, we will extend the warranty for that length of time. So we are in for the entire contract length for you, and we'll warranty to that effect. So if you have a 15-year contract, we can warranty to 15 years. If you have a 20-year project, we'll warranty for 20 years. Just, we make sure that you're covered during your entire contract length.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and we will follow up. The recording will come out, and as a reminder, the survey is at the end. We will follow up with any remaining questions offline and hopefully get the answers, and there may be a couple ones that require phone calls or a little longer, but we'll get to those. And stay tuned for chapter 2, what makes a good project for Aeroseal, and better help you guys in the consideration phase. Thank you everybody for your time, and we will see you later.